A while ago I had someone ask about Alacrity Heal Specter, how it does on BONESKINNER, so that's what this video is for. I apologize at the first, I forgot to go to non-grid form, but I will change that halfway through so you can see how the boons do. And this worked very well for this. One of the things I keep on my bar for this, see the Blinding Powder skill 9, that helps if you get stunned when BONESKINNER will do, see that cone AoE, I pop that just to make sure in case anybody gets caught. Later you'll see me get caught in it while I was changing to grid so you can see how well the boons perform. So the trick to this, and I think why the question was asked with Alacrity Heal Specter, is you need Shroud for your Specter skills, right? So, and with taking constant damage, what does that do for that? As you can see, as the fight goes on a bit, see the bar is ticking down pretty big now. Use your Shadow Siphon for that. The other thing you can do is, one, you don't have to stay in Shroud as long, and you can still get the same benefit. So I'm changing it here, watch this, I'm down. Now watch how quickly I'm going to bring this guy's health back up. That's how powerful this build is. And that's just with Scepter too, so that helps. And then of course Shadow Shroud, I do a quicker rotation on that, but it keeps Alacrity and everything else up, so you see my Shadow Shroud doesn't dip. If for some reason it does, you still have 2 wells on the bar that you're not really using, because you don't do a lot of CC for BONESKINNER except with special action. And anytime you use any well with party members in that well, it gives you a big boost to Shadow Shroud, so that's a way to keep that up. I tried using both there just to see if we could get them down, and we couldn't, but that's okay. As you can see, we're still doing well. And look at my team, I bring them right back up. So this heals really well for this. Even for BONESKINNER, you just can't stay in Shroud for as long. Usually 2 rotations through your skill 2, which gives you the Alacrity, should be fine. Don't forget skill 5 gives you stability for some of those pounces. And that is BONESKINNER. Good job, everyone. Alright, so hang out, because like, well, that's the only one I see. Later you can see me do the bears, and we're not going to split. We're going to burn one down, then burn the other in the center. I want you to see how well this build does with all the damage coming in. Excuse me. So this one, just as well. With this one, especially when you go fight your Doppelganger, you have so much CC, you just totally melt them real quick. This one can be a bit more challenging here because peeps tend to spread out a little bit, but if they stay closer, it's better. But you'll see the healing and the boon uptime is still good. Excuse me. Okay, now I'm fighting Doppelganger. Watch how quickly. He melts pretty quick this time, but the second time I get to him, I really blow him out of the water. That was still relatively quick. The next time it really goes pretty quickly. The other part too that can become a challenge is, which I think is for every build on here, is the fact that when he knocks you out from the stalagmites, it just, can cancel skills and such, which is a pain. But it still has good mobility between the wells and Shroud skill 3. You can still get in and catch up to people even if you're spread apart, and when he ports to the middle and to the edge. Okay, I got a chain, so I'm going to try not to move around so much. Okay, the barrier pump is just insane. This will probably get nerfed and maybe should be adjusted a little bit, but boy, it's really nice. I don't know why I don't see as many of these out here. Honestly, I think this is better than a Scourge. Arguably as good, if not better, than a heal brand. Just because a Shroud gives you extra things to do with it. So yeah, I mean, they all have their strengths. But I'm biased as a thief main, so of course I love this. Okay, and I'm going to need people's help with the clip after this, the next boss, which is Fraenir, because I have difficulty with part of it, and I'll go through it in a second. Watch how quickly we wipe this guy. Boom. I guess it was about the same speed as last one, just seemed faster while I was playing it. Okay, of course you know the orbs, watch out for those. I will say Scourge is great on this and also any kind of mech healer because those block the orbs, you know, and then for, of course, Necro use Fleshworm. Okay, we're gonna CC this action, spread out, and then finish the job. Everyone did a great job with mechanics throughout, so that was great. I don't think anybody got killed by chains. I don't see any corpses. Good job, everyone. Alright, next up comes Fraenir. So, yeah, we are a clean machine. All of our runs were clean so far. Okay, so this one, I keep getting hit in the crystals. Like, no matter how I try to dodge, right there. If anybody knows what I'm doing wrong or how to get around that, please let me know in the comments. Stability doesn't work that I know of. I've tried that. Stun breaks don't work. So, again, if anybody could give me any help, I would most appreciate that. And of course he phases through the snow golem thing. You know what's sad? I did not realize until we get to this Shiver Peaks one where we have this boss that his left arm is an ice club like that. How terrible is that? I definitely am not very observant. And his arm even blows off to draw attention to it. I never really looked. I just figured his whole arm blew off. Yes, I know I'm slow. But I thought I'd just own it. Don't forget you find anything with Condi. Spec Healer is a great Condi cleanser. Just with that dark aura they gave you on your, off your wells, blasting your wells, and skill 2 on your scepters with blast, especially if you need to stealth like out in PvE. I mean, I'm all aglow that we have a great healer for a thief. So what was cool though is I only got caught by one ice thing this whole thing. Usually I get hit by like 2 or 3, so I'm at least pleased with that, but I want to know what I'm doing wrong or how I can do better, and I need your help. Alright, this one we're not going to split. So this was kind of cool, especially when you see what happens to the end. Some of you have priority to do this, where you, instead of, leaving claw or voice after like 30%, go to claw and then kind of whittle them down that way. We're just going to burn voice all the way down to 0 and fight claw in the middle. And just watch the boons, watch the health of my party, watch how well this build performs, especially when you see us rotating around the central area with the last bear alive. And I think most groups have started going to this format. At least when I pugged a couple a while ago, they'd both done that. So I've started doing it. It's really not that challenging. When you get over here too, the first strike is free when he starts his rotation. You actually don't take damage. You can stand here right where he strikes. You don't take any damage. But the trick is, you're going to rotate it right as he drops the hammer. So yeah, and if you stay close to him, you can rotate around, watch my party, keep them alive. I mean, everybody's taking damage. I think the other subgroup wiped, and that's no casting shade on them for it. This is a hard one. This is just to say how well I think this build performs, is demonstrated in the fact that half the time they were standing right in it. Maybe another time I'll just try staying right in that blast, see how well it does. Or I just kept rotating. Oh no, the other group has some peeps up because they're resing them when they're up. So, my bad, not the whole sub. I think they lost 3. Not bad. Good job, you guys. Another successful one. Now all we have is Shiver Peak's boss. Normally I'll swap to alac DPS for this if I've been alac healer, because you don't really need heals. But again, to showcase how well this does on everything, I stayed alac heal. And we did this one and Temple of Phoebe, and I think it took us maybe 30 minutes-ish, so I think we did well. We had some people that were mostly experienced, I guess. The only thing that I think was new for people was when we did Temple of Phoebe, and that went well. I didn't leave that in here. I didn't put that in here because I've already done a video with me doing alac heal Scourge last week, I think it was, on Temple of Phoebe, and of course it totally rips through there, does a great job. See, I'm telling Temple of Phoebe next. I want to make sure no one forgot and left the group thinking this was it, but again, I cut that because there's no need for us to watch that, as I already have one posted. So any questions, comments, let me know in the comments, and again, let me know about how I'm screwing up on the Fraenir with getting frozen. But this was a great group. Great job, everyone. I have a lot of fun running Alacrity Heal Specter. And if you see me out there, feel free to join one of my groups. We're glad to have you. If you're looking for a guild, Meek Guild is recruiting. Players of all levels. Either way, thank you for watching. I hope you all have a most excellent day.